By the time you're watching this, the Nightmare Incursion EXP has already probably been nerfed, but what if it didn't have to be? And what if Blizz turned this into a full weekend event? My name's Coyote, and let's get to it. Stupid Coyote. People have been taking advantage of the Nightmare Incursions in mass. Now, it took it a little bit to get started, and then once people found out the amazing EXP they were getting from it, they just stopped doing everything else. And I mean, even I stopped doing it. I was actually doing some questing and having myself a little bit of a fun time enjoying the open world, but you got to ask yourself, what's more time effective? And the incursions have been absolutely good at that. I spent quite a bit of time just enjoying myself solo leveling and got about 3 levels in about a couple hours just by myself. And then I had some guildies jump on and we did the giant quest chain loops. And how each person wanted to do it was different, but for the most part, we were killing it when it came to experience. And it's a really awesome event to have. But what if this didn't have to end on Monday? Or maybe that it ended on Monday, and now we actually get to use it as a weekend event. Really, the only weekend events we have to look forward to in Season of Discovery is the Dark Moon Fair. But throughout the week, there's really nothing to do. And then when the weekend comes around, all you're really going to do is raid. This would be an awesome time for the devs to actually just add an EXP bonus so people are encouraged to go level their alts, something that they are actively wanting for people to do. They want them to try out everything in the Season of Discovery, whether it's because we're still in that rat race test that they're working on us, or maybe they really just want us to have fun with alts. But imagine this event starting at Friday, probably about 5 p.m., and going all the way till Monday, about 10 a.m. And that way, people had plenty of time to get on throughout the weekend. When I actually originally pitched this idea to my guildies, I was thinking more of like, hey, one weekend a month is kind of like a little fun deal. And actually, shout out to one of our top players. He was like, well, what about if that lands on a holiday weekend? And also, the phase should be over in about 3 to 4 months. It just really wouldn't see it getting one weekend to do all of this. And he suggested, hey, what if it's every weekend? Sometimes when you get to log on and just be able to burn through some of the extra characters makes a nice little decent amount of gold. And still, you can do these throughout the week, but only during the weekend is the EXP buff. So it kind of gives people a reason to come in here and try out this content. And throughout the week, you'll see them doing more of the dungeons and other things if they're still leveling. Right now, many players are highly active in this event. They're enjoying it. They're actually already working on alts. I have 3 or 4 guildies that have all of their tunes at 50 because of this. They have just been no-lifing it. But unfortunately, not everybody gets that same chance on this weekend. And to change this tomorrow on Monday when they're going to do this reset of it, that's just... I wouldn't say that it doesn't seem fair because it's not an argument I would use, but wouldn't it be cool to be able to get the same time to do this next weekend? Maybe it's because it's a holiday weekend, or maybe because you've got something going on. In my town, we've got the solar eclipse getting ready to come right through us. So I've kind of been planning a whole lot to deal with that. So it's taken me away. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's just kind of been caught up in the initial release of this weekend. We've talked to a few guildies who they couldn't even request the time off. They didn't know it was coming. But it would be really nice just to see this, like, hey, next weekend, don't worry, you'll be able to catch up. Maybe somebody's sick right now, they can't play. And just to add a little bit of flavor to the game. Part of the reason the devs have actually decided to nerf this thing is they were worried it was going to become stale for players who have multiple tunes. But I don't think that'll be the case if you just do a weekend event. And it's going to give them a time. You can actually get pretty good rep and experience while you're doing all of these. And maybe even do certain zones give better experience, and it gives people a reason to go to these other ones. Right now, I've heard from a lot of guildies that they don't even bother going to Duskwood's portal because of the issues of nobody's around. So pretty much everybody just goes over to the Ashenvale one and just hangs out there. Even low-level players are kind of getting in on this, and they're just running around and just death running a bunch of them. Doing this as a weekend event would actually give the devs a reason to not have to adjust Discover's Delight. They want to adjust it so that way the outer world stuff and dungeons are going to give you a reason to go out and do them, unlike the incursions. Now you may say, well, wouldn't people just wait around for the weekends? I kind of doubt it. People play WoW all throughout the week. We have actually several active members that are all the way through because of whether being retired, stay-at-home dads and moms. All of these reasons are why players will play throughout the week. But giving that weekend event to get 5 guildies together to go spam out a bunch of these quests so they can actually get more max level alts so we can add to our roster, Seems like a lot of fun to me. It also builds in a nice catch-up mechanic. We have several guildies that can't start this week, whether it is because of work or whatever reasons, and they're going to be joining us here later on in the phase. Wouldn't it be nice just to be able to trust in on a weekend that, okay, I can get caught up this weekend if I work really hard and do all these things? It's kind of nice. Something to look forward to on the weekends while playing WoW. Now, I do admit that we all still need to go out and see some sunlight sometimes, but still, I think turning this EXP buff in just to a weekend event would be better than just nerfing it outright, turning it off on Monday at 10 and turning it on at Friday at 5. These are just my thoughts. I want to hear from you in the comments below. If you agree with me, leave a like. If you disagree with me, tell me why you think it's a bad idea in the comments as well. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. As always, my name's Coyote. Happy adventures, stupid coyote.